Yes, what's going on? It's Max, welcome back. So let's go for a bit of a drive and let's have a chat. More importantly, a chat around this car, my Golf Mark 4 V6 full motion that I've had for pretty much, it's gonna be 13 years in October. So today is Bank Holiday Monday, 28th of August 2023. So what does that mean? It means that tomorrow, Tuesday the 29th, the London ultra low emission zone is expanding. So what does that mean? So that's ULEZ. So what it means is that currently, as of now, I live a few minutes down the road from the current ULEZ zone. But actually, as of midnight tonight, the ULEZ zone is expanding and I'm gonna be swallowed up. So if you know London, you know it's surrounded by the M25. So the ULEZ expansion is gonna go all the way through pretty much to the M25. So what does that mean? It means that cars that do not comply with the ULEZ regulations around NOx emissions can't drive unless they pay £12.50 a day. Now, this is my daily, and it has been for the last, like I said, 13 years pretty much. So the thought of paying £12.50 a day to drive it around makes no sense. So does that mean ultimately today is the last day, and right now it's 8 o'clock in the evening, and this is the last drive in my Mark 4 full motion that I've had for 13 years. It's a sad moment, it's a sad video. Essentially, I'm just ironically gonna go and put some fuel in it and give it a wash. Why fuel? Because the fuel light came on Thursday when I got home. And why a wash? Because I'm gonna take some photos, put it out for sale. So I don't want to sell it, but it's gotta go. I can't drive it because it's gonna cost me £12.50 as of midnight tonight to exit my road, to exit my car park. It just makes no sense. So fuel, car wash tonight now. So I thought I'd bring you along. It's frustrating really because my S-Class, if you follow me, I've got a S500 W220 long wheelbase. That car, it's a 5-litre V8 and it's ULEZ compliant. Why? Because the NOx readings and the Euro status and whatever, it's all worked on emissions against capacity and all that stuff. This is a 2.8 V6 and it's classified as a Euro 3, even though because it's a year 2000, even though 2001 onwards, same car, same everything, is classed as a Euro 4, and that's what you need with petrol cars to be compliant. It's a Euro 4. Yes, I could write to Volkswagen and say to Volkswagen, you know, can you send me a certificate of conformity, and Volkswagen would send it to me, and then once Volkswagen send it to me, I could then send it to TfL and prove that it's compliant. But this is the earlier 24 valve 2.8 VR6. So what does that mean? That means potentially it isn't compliant. I genuinely don't know. I know the later ones are with the individual coil packs. This has the one big single coil pack. So it might, I don't know. Ultimately, it's a ball ache, and it's really frustrating that this is what's happening to me. So it's happening to everybody. It's happening to a lot of people. I won't get into the politics of it, but essentially no one believes in it. No one thinks it makes sense, and I don't believe it makes sense. I think it's just a money-making scheme. Also, bearing in mind, if you got a diesel, probably 2014, so 9 years old, it's not compliant. So actually, those are the ones that are really butthurt. I've had 13 years use out of this car. I love it, but ultimately you can say like it's lived a life. But imagine picking up a car that is, you know, 9 years old. You know, you picked it up 3-4 years ago, you probably paid a good amount of money for it, and now you gotta get rid of it for pittance because all the non-compliant ULEZ cars, you know, are dropping in prices. And then people that have a compliant ULEZ car for sale are putting it up for absolute bucks. So yeah, anyway, I bought this car 2010, towards October 2010. I had my E36. I don't know if some of you guys might remember my E36, if you followed me that long. And that was my daily back then, so I needed, it was quite extreme, so I needed, especially once I put the RSS on, it couldn't be daily. Too much attention to be street parked by work, and it was just too aggro, and the wheels were too, you know, I live in London, the wheels are just worth too much. So what I did was get a daily and get this. Really enjoyed owning it. It's a shame it's gotta go, but it has to go. It's never ever let me down. Absolute trooper. Like I said, it's been my daily for 13 years. The only time it wasn't my daily was when I had the Golf R wagon that I had for 2 years. So for those 2 years I still had the car, it just wasn't my daily. It was just parked in the unit next to a 300 ZX, if you guys remember or follow me from that long. So anyway, yeah, it is what it is. We're off to get it washed, put a bit of fuel in it, park it up and put it for sale. Say it's goodbyes. The saddest bit of it all is, if it doesn't sell, I can't just have it sitting around for no reason with no purpose. It might get scrapped. So Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London, who introduced the ULEZ expansion for no reason and rushed it through, is offering £2,000 scrappage scheme for anybody that's affected. Now, I don't really want to scrap it. I love this car, it's got a lot of life left in it, but ultimately it can't stay. I have nowhere to keep it. I'm not going to pay for a space for it to sit and collect dust. I've bought another car as a run around daily for now, more on that soon. It's quite an interesting one. Anyway, while we're on the subject, I'm on the hunt for, let's call it another daily. Even like I said, I've got myself a little run around, but that's going to be more like my city car. My London car is small, it's nimble, I can park in whatever, you know, places I need to park it up, multi-stories in London that are really tight and stuff for work. I need something that, it's not really going to be a daily, but something that I can use for the family, you know, my wife, the dog, myself, you know, going away on weekends and stuff. Yes, I've got the S-Class, and to be honest, that's so comfortable and actually not that bad on fuel once I'm on a run. But super practical. The back seats are huge because it's a long wheelbase, and the boot is also huge. So essentially I'm contradicting myself, because it's not that it's not practical, I just think something a bit more like a State or something. So I've been battling with myself because I can't think of anything else that's better than a Golf R wagon like I used to have. But again, I used to have one, so I'm trying to think of something else. Either one RS4, because I'd always wish I got an RS6, and I can't afford an RS6 straight up. So although I have thought about a C5 RS6, which for me is my favorite RS6, and a good one's about 15-18 grand right now, so definitely can do one of those. So I'm gonna go and view a couple this week, C5 RS6s, and see what the situation is. I've never actually been in one, never sat in one, definitely never driven one, so I just don't want it to feel too old, even though, you know, they'll be like a few years newer than this, and this for me is perfectly fine in terms of age. And then again, the S-Class is, you know, a 2003, so yeah, I'm going to view a 2003 and a 2005 RS6 this week. One silver, which is my favorite one, and one black. So that's this week. But again, the hunt is on. I thought about an SQ5 and just put it on some springs to bring it down a little bit. I don't really want a diesel, so I really only want petrol. So realistically, for the money, you know, golf out wagon, I can't think of anything better that's gonna do what I want it to do. Be practical, be fast, be fun, be cool. Let's not beat around the bush. You know, you want to drive a cool car, I want to drive a cool car. I'm just gonna wish it was my old one. I think if I get another golf out wagon, so I'm really thinking of options here. Yeah, anyway, like I said, C5 RS6 viewing this week. We're here to get some fuel. Actually, I'm not gonna get fuel from here. I'm gonna get fuel from Tesco's because it's cheaper. And like I said, it's only just so it's got fuel whenever anybody comes to view it. I'm just at the car wash now. You can see over my shoulder. So I'm gonna back it in there and we're gonna give it a wash. So it looks semi-respectable. I'm gonna take photos and the new owner hopefully comes to get it, and if not, it'll get scrapped nice and clean. So that's really important. Anyway, let's wash it up. Speak to you in a bit. So as you have seen, I ran out of fuel reversing into their petrol station. That's super embarrassing, but it's funny because I've never ran out of fuel, and today is my last drive. Thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you to everybody that saw. I know that I've done much on the Mark IV, but you know, it's a couple of videos if you're interested on the Mark IV. I fitted you know, the lowering springs, I fit 20s on it for fun, my 20-inch stuff fast. That was quite funny. But yeah, so car's now washed, back in the car park, back in its space for now. That's it, that's the last drive, whatever. Anyway, like I said, new run around daily to come. Bit of a curveball for me, but like I said, it's just a little cheap run around to get around London and stuff. On the hunt for, you know, another proper, say, family car, say. And like I said, I've got the S-Class that I've parked up, so that'll stay. It's long term. I'm actually gonna do things to it. I've got loads of bits and bobs for it. Hopefully sort out some new wheels. But yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Yeah, sad one. Sad to see it go. Real sad. Yeah. Take it easy. Peace.